Is your pondless or disappearing waterfall losing water? We're going to go over 5 things you can look for before you have to pick up the phone and call a professional. Today on You Ask, We Answer. What's up, everybody? My name is Jack from Atlantis Water Gardens. Today on You Ask, We Answer, we are covering leaks, specifically leaks in pondless or disappearing waterfalls. Now, there are 5 things that we're going to be looking for today to determine, first of all, whether or not we have a leak, and second of all, where it possibly could be before you've got to pick up the phone and spend money with a water feature professional, because these are things that you can check yourself and they're pretty simple. So let's get started. So the first place we're going to look is the reservoir. That's where the water is stored at the bottom of your waterfall. So it could be an aqua basin, it could be something where it's constructed homemade, where it's just some rocks and some liner in it, or in our case, we've got a pump vault along with some aqua blocks for water storage. Checking the stability of your reservoir is actually pretty simple. So what you're going to do is fill up your reservoir to the normal operating level, shut off your waterfall, and let it sit for 24 hours. Now, I'd probably suggest taking a measurement to see where the water level is. Find a spot that you can measure off of, write that down, and then the next day when you come out to check it, measure it again. If it's in the same spot or very close to the same spot, chances are the reservoir is in pretty good shape. And that's a really good thing, because that can be quite a project to fix a reservoir if in fact it is leaking. Next place we're going to look is plumbing or plumbing connections. In this vault here, we've got a check valve which attaches to the pump, and the plumbing is exiting out this side of the vault. We want to make sure that the collar is actually tight, because sometimes if it's not tight, it could be spraying out and possibly outside of the reservoir. The plumbing itself can be a little bit trickier. If it's not available to be dug up and check the whole length of the pipe, if you could find any spots where it might be wet, that would be a good place to start digging. Or if you can actually see where the plumbing goes to the top of the waterfall, check any area where it's actually exposed and visible. Unless you're going to go through digging up the entire pipe, it's going to be tough to check this one 100%. All right, now that we've checked our reservoir and our plumbing, we got to move on to the waterfall itself. So for step number 3, we're actually going to fire this waterfall up and check every inch of the outside of the waterfall. What I'm looking for here is to find the liner that actually goes underneath the rockwork and make sure that it's high enough on both sides of the waterfall. Or if you've got multiple waterfalls, you want to check everywhere around it. So we will start at the reservoir, work our way all the way around the top, back down to the bottom, encompassing the whole outside of the waterfall to make sure we can see every inch of liner. What we're looking for is possibly a low spot in the liner where water could be escaping, and that's usually an easy fix. We can lift up the liner, add some soil, and then reconstruct the rockwork that was around it. Not that big a deal, and it's pretty common actually on a waterfall that's been around for quite a long time. You might get some settling, maybe some animals were walking over it, maybe you had some washout for some rain. Either way, it's not the end of the world, and it can be fixed. Over on this side of the waterfall, I've got something going on where there is some water going outside the liner. That's all wet in there. That's going to indicate that water is traveling outside the liner in this spot, so I'm going to dig deeper in here, take some more of these rocks apart to see if I can find that spot where the liner could be low. We've got another spot over here that looks a little bit suspect. You see a section right here. This is all pooling water. This liner has multiple folds in it. Sometimes water can escape through the folds depending on how they go. You can see this one dives underneath this rock, and I'm not quite sure where it's going, so we're going to have to remove this rock here to see what's going on with that. Now, you really have to look carefully when you're searching for leaks, especially over the liner, because there could be just little folds like this that has water traveling outside the liner. You can see that fold there is coming down, and it travels down in here, and we've got wetness coming outside the liner. So this very well could be one of those situations where it's death by 1,000 cuts. It could be a lot of little leaks coming out from folds and stuff like that, where you get enough of that and it's going to be substantial, because it's leaking all over the place. We're going to dig into this and find out. But these are the things that you want to look for on your own if possible. Now, if you have a waterfall that's got a lot of big boulders in it, and it's more of a professionally constructed waterfall, this might be a difficult test for you, because sometimes you need a machine to move some of the stuff out of the way. But here, with this all being hand manageable rock, if you're handy enough, you probably could go through and find a lot of this yourself before you have to spend money with somebody else. But if you get to the point where you just don't feel like doing that, then you call a pro. Number 4, we're going to check the headwaters, or the start of the waterfall, to make sure there's no issues there. Now, there could be quite a few ways a waterfall is started on a pondless or a disappearing waterfall. Sometimes you'll just see a pipe going over the edge of the liner. Sometimes there'll be a diffuser. Sometimes they'll use some other kind of mechanism to start the waterfall. That might involve taking some rockwork apart to see exactly what's going on back there. Make sure the connection behind the waterfall is good. So if there's a glue connection or there's some sort of a mechanical connection, make sure that that connection is not leaking. So when you're performing this test, you're going to want to have the waterfall running so you can see if there's any water being lost around the headwaters of the waterfall. We have identified 2 problem areas in the waterfall that we're going to address. We're actually going to take apart sections of the waterfall so that we can fix the overlap that's going on over there and then reconstruct the waterfall. But now you're getting to the point where you've got to have some experience to fix these things. At least identifying what's going on will give you a leg up when you call a professional and you can show them maybe some pictures or possibly even some video of what you found. It's going to make life a lot easier and diagnosing and costing it much easier too. Hopefully you guys got some good information today on how to at least do your own self-diagnosis on your Pondless Waterfall when it comes to leaks. We're getting back to work here, getting this waterfall fixed up and good to go. See you on the next one.